Hello, this is Bridget Rau with Divine Essentials. Alright guys, I have tarot and a couple of oracle cards from my Starseed Oracle. And up here I had the Strength with the Four of Swords in the World. So I feel like people are coming to the end of a cycle right now where strength is going to be needed to heal, to close, a cycle that could be one that was just about healing or transforming, seeing the butterflies. I also see the turtles, so it could be slow go. You may feel like you've had your ass kicked. And I'm here, I've seen that saying actually a couple of times this week. Inside all of us, there are two wolves, right? There's the one that's like the good wolf and the bad wolf, the light and the dark. But neither one of them is like good or bad. It's just, they just both are there. So trying to remember that and integrating, balancing, unifying duality, tapping into the infinite that's expansive and open and wide helps us to heal and close the cycle that may be a little difficult at this time. This could even have begun in Atlantis. We have past lives, crystal master. I was actually reading some of Edgar Casey's stuff last night, and the fucking weirdest part about it is like it's like a book of a collection of things that he's written at different times, and almost every single one, I didn't read all of it, I just like scanned around the book, and every time I'd open up to a section of the book, the part that he had written would have been from either November or May during the lineups for Pleiadian lineup. And I'm like, this man wrote for years like lots of stuff at different times of the year, but every time I stopped and looked, it was during the November and May lineups, talking about Atlantis and the ways that this world is and things that have been seen on this world, and the way that the world was at that time when he was writing and all of that. So I don't know, it's just weird that that would come up with all of that, but it did. And so I'm seeing the 8 here, the lion here. When I see that, I see the Lyran energy. I don't see human stuff like with that energy there. So again, this Atlantis thing could have started way before what we know. We know of Atlantis because, it's like the oldest thing we know about here on this planet that's happened in this whatever we're doing. But beyond that, behind it or further away from us at this time, which is now accelerating and getting faster further away rather than just being there, expanding, at the rate that it used to. Now we're just speeding up in time and moving faster. So we're getting further away from those things. But I think it's a good thing, too, because the further we get away from certain things, the freer we become of it or the influence of it. So these cycles close as we disconnect from those stories or those memories or those pieces or those parts. But we also have to disconnect from the other pieces and parts that we've adopted within the frame of time that's not so far away, within, recent past, distant past. Our history is expansive. When we tap into it through that level of consciousness or through by being here and looking at it and acknowledging it and being like, oh my God, everybody has a story, and the story is connected to the stories that came from before and before and before. Even a child that's born is connected specifically to its mother and grandmother because the grandmother held within her the egg that the mother became. And when the mother became a being, the being had its own womb with that thing. So it's like it goes beyond those generations too, just on a DNA cellular level, because we've taken on these physical things. But if we can go beyond them or break out of the stories of them through the Akashic records, those wisdom keeping records, we can remember that there is something beyond it before, like that's infinite, expansive, wide. It just is. You're not a body, you're not a person, you're not a name, you're not a face, you're not a look, you're not a style, you're not anything. You are the observer of the story that you're telling yourself. So you need to make a decision, and a lot of us make decisions based out of our fears and out of what we know from where we've come, and even the things we don't know consciously, the things that have been programmed into us through our fears, and then the chemicals inside of us that get activated through the fear. Everybody's in fight or flight. Everybody's running away from themselves or each other or intimacy, pain, things, fears of inadequacy, fears of not having enough, fears of, not being wanted or accepted or known, fear of not knowing you, fear of all of it. So you need to choose to not sabotage yourself through that, and instead find what your passion is, but make the passion yourself too, the process of it, finding the strength to overcome and heal the story that you've been telling yourself that's keeping you in either some sort of cycle or world that has been needed to change. And instead of saying or owning something that's bad or not good or becoming one with it, which is very easy to do here, and it's a fight. You have to remind yourself every single day, and you'll forget if you don't. It is hard because there's a lot of distractions, and it's really real. It looks and feels and is intense, but we can create and change it. We can align and shift that wheel that we're spinning and feel worthy of it, because if we don't feel worthy of it, or don't believe that we're worthy of it, or don't think it, any of those things, or that it's not possible to do it, and I can't have that, and on some level within somewhere that's impossible, or you have like all these things that people tell you. You gotta work hard to get somewhere, you gotta do this, boop, 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 and we just, yep, it seems right. Just keep living in that world, because we just do. It's easier to be aligned with the collective consciousness of everybody on the planet that's always in doubt and fear and shame and regret and guilt and anger and frustration, and look at over this and look at over this and look at over here, and oh God, this and and distraction, ego, I am so this, that, the other thing, but you're not. You're none of those things. You are just you. But you isn't even a you. You is just observing the you, and you are from one collective within this existence, that even that is not separate from you. But if you can kind of see those two things and get beyond the first layer, that's like the first step to go even further. But when you get beyond this level here, where everybody's tapped into that collective thing, and everybody's co-creating this belief or this existence, this experience, that can be difficult. And then you decide to choose to believe something or feel something that does not feel good. It takes you out, down. And then you got to believe in yourself to get back up and know that you're worthy of it. And sometimes it may include others, and sometimes it may include just yourself. And usually it's going to be just yourself reflected back to you from others anyway. So whatever you're seeing or experiencing from others is usually something within you that you needed to have mirrored to you to awaken you through the synchronicity of it. And a lot of us are here from higher dimensions to assist Gaia now, so that we don't repeat Atlantis and have another fall or downfall of an entire situation here. And we can shift the collective consciousness to awaken and see things in a new way that will help people to vibe at the highest quotient of light and to balance, so they can receive and give and have and do in all the right ways. And this is a vulnerable expression. This could be you needing to be vulnerable or somebody else needing to be vulnerable. Usually if one does, you both do. You need to work together on whatever it is that you're doing. If you know that this is needed, but you choose to be guarded, it's okay, but you will have to probably try again at some point, or it will keep happening, and that cycle will repeat. So it's just a choice. You just choose, decide what you want to do, and then you try to do it. And if you fuck it up, you're okay, I'm going to try it again. But if you know that you're worthy of it, and that this is, good, happy time. Yeah, this is the thing. This is real. It's not fake. I know it seems fake because not many people live it, but they don't have to be separate from it, and you don't have to be separate from it. It may require some fucking oh my god shit that changes everything, and a lot of us get conditioned to stay stuck in our fucking condition. But we can choose to change whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want, and it may be a balance of karma that's aligned to the right situation or connections. This could be finding the right partner to work with, or finding the right partner to be in your life, as a romantic person that's going to unify the duality, or finding the person that's going to balance you in some way, in some area, in some part of your life right now that is not working, that needs to come be torn down and chosen for balance of karma. It probably started long ago in Atlantis in the fucking times of the war. And if you want your 10 of Pentacles, you're going to have to also, again, believe in yourself that you're worthy of it. Because if you don't believe that, then you can't ever reach this, which is the step before the 10. The 10 is ultimate fulfillment. You've already got the emotional fulfillment here, and that comes through the commitment on a spiritual level and not getting sucked into the dream or the illusion of the reality that we're playing within, and reminding yourself every day that this is what this really is, or that you have the ability to, and then starting to see the results of. But if you don't believe the results are possible, if you haven't seen it yet, you've got to try even harder to do it, and keep showing up for it, and keep reminding yourself of it. And then the hangman, you will see in a new way. When you hang, you got to go within. Don't even go within. Just fucking meditate. Just close your eyes and try to remember these other concepts, or separate yourself from outside of you and all of the things out there. And then even you yourself, separate you from you, and recognize that everything is, expansive. And that there could also be influences in your life or within your situations in your world that have been not good for you, or they could have influenced you in a negative way to believe the opposite thing, or to see in a way that's not conducive for this present moment, to lift out of the negativity, the lightness of being, and being present in a partnership or an alliance that you can feel is a good thing. It's there's a promise there. It's it's not going to go away. I can trust this. There's a telepathy of knowing that this is gentle, and this is the way to those places, that vibrant, abundant life, the happy, comfort, leisure, wishes coming true. Could be the birth of a daughter in the world. Again, is the accomplishment, the completion of the cycle. Being dutiful in your responsibility, governing time and matter and structure, which you are the creator, and the achievement and commitment to integrating and understanding that there is a restriction around us, but we have the key to unlock it within our subconscious and in our intuition, our psyche. But we have to recognize it, remember it, repeat it every day, and be stable and enduring within it, to stay above it, and to keep having that progress, to stay on track. I think I can. But your thoughts and the problems and your doubts and things and the traumas and all the shit out there, because there's influences from every which way, we have to, know that these may come, and when they do, forgiving and finding the way to get back to your heart's desire to feel good, and to know that feeling good is possible and it's out there. That can help you to break free from being stuck and stand alone in your little thing, in some institution of the ego or the mind or the construct that you're creating. But when you go find details within everything, you can find the true north, to seek the truth in a new direction, to find your way, and to make the plan to explore and get through the upheaval of the change and the action. But the only person that can change anything is you, and know that everybody has their own pattern and own way. And when you start to handle it delicately and realize the design of it, and are patient with it, even sometimes patient with yourself, and forgiving when you aren't, or when you screw up, or you have a crisis, or you fall out of the fucking thing. It's like, okay, it happened. Well, let's get back to the comfort. Let's, make things better. Eventually we'll figure it out. We're going to have those times where we get, spread out, or we fall off the thing. But you got to leap back in to change your mind and your mindset. And then, bring the fire into your life to keep that going, whether it's you or someone you know, that you're going to have harmony and fun, collaboration. Again, that promise to each other. It could be a reconciliation with somebody, but there's going to be a strong, connection there. There may be like a protective energy, even like the mama bear energy, but it's also a good time, happy, flirting, luck, carefree, but it probably will come after a shocking surprise, or either, they may have something shocking or surprising to tell you. You may have something shocking, surprising to tell them. And some of you may know, some of you may not know. But I feel like, again, with this lovers, is like you could have your dreams, your hopes and aspirations, your wishes come true. But you have to choose to communicate and negotiate and do the things that people are usually afraid to do, nervous about, because of the mind. But if they take the leap of faith and are easygoing, and they know that things are available to them with their leap of faith, that they can have the reawakening of their lost hopes, the manifesting of their deep desires, and the healing of all of the worries, and the reduction and the stress, the anxiety, and cleaning up those unpleasant things. And it will feel good when it's over, and when we get rid of the complicated circumstances of the conundrums and the strings attached and all of that. So movement is needed after rising to a whole new vision and understanding through the transition of an ascended awareness of unconditional love and eternal love, the love of a lifetime being the thing that brings us health and vitality, personal growth. Past lives usually are connected to these things, but they can be rebirthed into this life with an experience that needs the light bulb moments of enlightenment, so that we can have the epiphanies and the aha moment that may bring us to a community, or to an event, or to the meeting or the crossing of this new vision and this new experience coming out of the past, present, and future. And we may have come from a place of self-interest, or there could have been things that were deceitful and wrong, but the energy can be shifted from that to a more divine energy for the climax of fulfilled power and radiant success. But you may need to spin your wheels in order for that to happen, and be grateful about what's happened, to get clarity about what's happened, to get clarity about the ego, becoming purposeful and creative within who you are, why you're doing what you're doing, putting something behind it, problem solving about it, the entrepreneur type of level of commitment, going within yourself as that hermit and working hard with your intelligence to overcome the obstacles and the things, the barriers that have kept you from your justice. So when you do all of that, with that higher level commitment, you clear those illusions, you get rid of those things, you make the decisions and the choices that will help you to get rid of these regrets and these guilts, burdens, and see the good signs again for your victory and achievement. But it is going to be unique for everybody, so you can't do exactly as everybody else does. But the key is usually within the subconscious for that transformation to occur consciously and subconsciously. And again, reminding us every single day, every way, over and over and over again. And sometimes just even finding our way back up to where we have been, or to where we know we can be, is not always easy. But you can do it, so try to do it. Yeah. Rise to new perspective, new clear vision. Call on the ego that is in your heart, so that you can unify that duality and have a new start with stuff, balancing the high priest and high priestess into that thing that has started long ago as beings far away. But you're going to have to also be vulnerable and, let your guards down sometimes. So hopefully this assists somebody. In Munay. Namaste.